you're about to see is part of a series of videos discussing how to put together a weekly kit. This should all be part of a playlist, so I recommend going to the beginning to start and not starting in the middle. So the first thing I'm going to work on before I even get to making any parts of the kit is the pages that the kit goes on. This isn't something you usually see a design with me for, but that's generally because you don't really need to know this. But I just want to talk to you guys about the process I go through to think about how I create the paper that my stickers will go on. So I'm in the Silhouette Studio. I'm going to first of all turn on registration marks. These might look different than yours. I've gone ahead and decrease the length and thickness to the small. This is the smallest my printer is fine with. So what it means is, like these are usually much bigger. This basically just gives me, let me take it to the original. It just gives me more space to work with. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to figure out the size that I can have the maximum at. So I know the size personally because I've made this before, but just for demonstration's sake, I will show you how I would go about figuring this out. Okay, and then I'll drag this down to the bottom. I'm basically trying to get just at the edge of this so that when my cutting tool is going at it, it can still be within those red cut lines here on the sides, but that I use the most space available with each piece of paper. So I'm not going to drag it all the way to the top, but this is just an example of how you would do it. I do know that the max dimensions are 7 by 9.5. So this is what I would be working within. I would obviously move it so it's just right within those. So what I want to do is I want to make the block of paper is going to be, the sheet, my sticker sheet is going to be the entire width of this, that's 7 inches, but for height, I'm just going to cut it in half. So 9.5 divided by 2 is 4.75. Yeah, that's right. So this is a much larger chunk than I'm usually used to. I generally make this a tad bit smaller, just so it fits what I'm going for, but honestly, you know what, just for the sake of showing you guys, I'm going to show you guys what would fit in this. So I'm going to make this the dimensions of a full box for a vertical kit, how I would make one, and then I'll show you how many are going to fit. Okay, so a full kit generally comes with, so what this means is there's plenty of room for me to have some kind of header with logos, lots of room along the side for if you're putting in like some flags or some extra appointment labels, all kinds of things. So that's just for example's sake. So this is the size I'm working with. I'm gonna keep it like this for now. Actually, I'm gonna undo that. So next, I'm going to make the top bar, which is what I put my logo and stuff in. So I know it needs to be the length of 7, or the width is 7. So it fits across, and I'm going to start with just oh yeah, that's a pretty good measurement. So I'm going to go ahead and align that with my box. I'm just trying to see how it would look with this like right in there, like centered in there. That looks pretty good. I could actually make it, you know what, I'm not going to make it any bigger because I want to have as much room as possible on other pages for my sticker sheets. Great. So for mine, what I like to do is I like to put my logo in the middle, which I don't actually have a logo, it's just like the name of my YouTube channel. On the left is I give the name of the kit, and on the right I give what type of kit it is. So a vertical kit, horizontal kit, personal kit. So I'm going to go ahead and just type those up. Okay. This is obviously a little large. That's a little small. Alright, I'll figure out a right size for it, but this is fine to work with. I keep things very simple. I make the thing, do I want to give it an outline? I do want to give it an outline. So this is what would go in the middle. Oh, I need to also change the fonts on all of these. this is what would go right here. And then the kit name is over here. So before I size these correctly, you can choose whatever font you like. My go-to font for everything is American Typewriter. I like the look of it. I know a lot of shops, use like custom fonts and things like that. I don't have a shop, but I keep things very simple. So let me go ahead and size everything to fit. Moving over here, before I put it in, I am going to work with the line spacing a little bit, just so there's a little bit less space between the top and bottom line. I don't do anything too exact, just whatever looks right, I guess. Alright, so the only thing I am doing exact here is I'm going to select those and go to my Align tool, Align Middle, just making sure this is right in the middle of this. I like its spacing over here. I'll get back to the logo. Alright, that looks pretty good. Great. So for aligning, I am going to take the logo and make sure it is centered and group that together. You saw the box shifted a little bit, so I'm going to make sure it is all good to go. Oh, I see what it did. Let's just... It did not do what I wanted it to do. Top right. Okay. Let's make sure this sucker is... Oops, not what I meant to do. Make sure this little guy is all aligned in there, as well as this guy. Huh. You know what? I should have just done from the beginning, just lined these guys up. We'll group those in there, align them in the middle of that. Alright, so I have this all now lined up a little bit how I want. Oh, actually, this guy, I'd like to move a teensy bit up. Okay, so now let's go ahead and mess with this. First, I'm going to remove that red line. All of the red lines that I put in are cut lines, or the lines that are going to be cut by my silhouette machine. But I do want a fill color on this. I believe it's... Let me check the correct color. Hold on. Alright, I went ahead and I found the correct color. I got the hex code. This is the color I like to use. It's a pale bluish purple color. So let's go ahead and group this all together. So I have my vertical weekly kit layout. So I'm going to actually go ahead and delete this. I don't need it anymore. And now I'm going to get this as snug as I can against the bottom here. So that means I can make sure I have enough room at the top for another box to fit, and then I also want to make sure that here on the left it's within that line. So it's fine over here, snug up against that here, and it's fine at the bottom. So let's go ahead and duplicate this above, and then we will see if it all fits nicely in there as well. Fits fine up here. Let me just get these lines down here to overlap so the cut lines are very simple, and then we'll be good to go. There it is. Perfect. That's all within the margins. Okay. So there it is. This is how my sheets of stickers look like. I am using the most amount of space that I can so that when I make new things on all those different pages, I know that I'm getting the most amount of stickers in every single sheet that I can.